Good afternoon, guys. This is Topic Skills Practice Fix and Secure Electrotechnology. This is the first prac. I'm just going to go for a brief overview of all the pracs so we can get an idea, so you can fill out your job risk analysis and your risk assessment associated to each task. The first prac we're doing is to put a clips of 154 series plaster clip on a plaster wall to screw a power point or a light switch to. The only risk here that you'll be really addressed to or be exposed to will be plaster dust and the use of a sharp saw like so. Be careful whether you use it correctly. Ask your teacher or assessor that's nearby you for correct use and handling, because the sharp edges on that can cause skin abrasions and associated injury to your fingers and so on. The second prac is to install a batten holder onto a wooden wall. Once again, using electrotechnology equipment like battery drills, screws, and so on. So once again, the procedure in which we've currently learned to be able to use this equipment is also, and the risk associated to using that equipment is also part of that process as well. So just be aware of that and be mindful of it. Take your time and do not rush, and do not be afraid to ask questions. The third prac is to put a right angle steel bracket. That's a separate prac on its own, which requires a little bit of explanation, and we'll deal with that right there and then. So we'll just fall back now onto Topic Skills prac 2.1, mount accessories to plasterboard. And the first task here is to secure a wall plate and a suitable clip, and this clip will be a 154 plaster clip. That plaster clip looks like this. That's a 154 plaster clip, and I'll show you how to mount that very shortly. The tools that we need for this job: we need a pencil, we need a plaster clip, we need a tape measure, we need a keyhole saw, and we need a level. Okay, now as you can see on this wall here, the plasterboard is the top third of the wall, therefore we'll be mounting on that top wall. So my suggestion will be that we'll mount the power point or light switch a measurement above floor level. Remember, there's timber work here screwed to, so it will only be above the timber work. So we'll mount it at 1350 above the floor. That's the height, 1350. And we'll mount it 200 millimeters in from the left-hand side to the center, which is there. I'll get my level now, and I'll just put a pencil line through that. Both a horizontal line and then a vertical line. Don't mark the whole wall, just a small cross section there to give you an idea exactly where to put the bracket. Now, that center line is going to line up with the screw holes in the bracket themselves. So I now can actually put the screw holes over that center line, the horizontal center line. There's also a hole in the center of the bracket, and that would be the center of the vertical line. So I now can actually draw that bracket in. I start on the left-hand side, I go down the inside like that with my pencil and up around the side there like that. If I then turn it upside down and do the same thing again, I really can mark the top now. But before I do that though, I do it just by eye because I've done it so many times. What I suggest that you do is that you measure this. So we lock the tape measure. We start at a figure of 100, it's 100 or 200 or 300, so we can lay the tape measure flat. And we measure a distance of 50 millimeters. I actually beg your pardon, and we'll make that 45 millimeters. we'll mark that in 2 points. Those 2 marks of 45mm will be the inside line of the top of the bracket. We hold it up like that. We put it on top of the 2 marks, the 45, and we can draw the other half of the square in, like so. We now have a square shape like that on the wall, and all this has got to come out. Now there's several ways that you can actually start the actual keyhole saw inside a wall. Now you can actually, if you've got a sharp edge bit like this, you can actually just put it inside the whole square somewhere, probably slightly up one of the lines, and just twist the saw until you get it to start going through. Be gentle, cut the bottom line as straight as you possibly can, turn your saw around and cut the other way. To cut up the sides, you've got to get it to start up the sides and start back in the centre again, work your way to the top, and gradually turn it around as you go, so you meet the outside edge like so, turn it around again and go down. Be clear of the dust that you're going to create, and obviously we'll actually sweep this dust up as we finish. Cut to the inside of the line always. Don't put too much weight down when you use the saw. It's got a nice sharp edge. It'll cut all by itself without you forcing it. Once you've got the square cut out, just put your plastic tip on the outside of the hole again, so that it's actually pretty well centralised around the hole. See where your 2 screw holes are, and just cut little triangles where those screw holes are, like so, and like so. You can't cut too far because you'll be outside the line of the power point. You don't want that to occur. Clean the hole. Now the plastic can go inside the hole like that, come back over the lip like that, pass the dust there, do that again, go in the hole like so, come over the hole there like that, and there it is sitting in the hole there like so. That is now ready to screw the plate to. I'm just going to press pause and get the plate.